I've been a student for almost a decade. I have managed major projects while working retail simultaneously. And until recently, I couldn't give you a good answer. Somebody asked me, "What do you do?" Well, today, hopefully, that changes. My name is Martin. I am a part time mechanical engineering student at LTH in Sweden. I work retail part time as well. And formerly, I was the project manager for A-Plyming, which was Scandinavia's largest career fair. But none of these titles matter or capture what I'm actually trying to build here, or why I am even starting this channel. Let me paint you a quick picture of where I've been. I spent years pouring everything I had into student organizations, managing events for thousands of people, leading teams, building systems. I even continued working the day after my father passed away from cancer because I felt that the community needed me. Partially also give me something practical to do, right? I was always the guy who said yes, who prioritized everyone else's approval over thoughts of my own or trying to figure out my own direction. Academically, I have been studying, or I am studying mechanical engineering. Professionally, I have lost over $50,000 to online scams while trying to figure out this whole Wi-Fi money entrepreneurship type of thing. And on a personal level, I've gone from having anxiety attacks trying to figure out where we're going and what I want my future to look like, to building systems that actually work. And physically, health-wise at least, I've maintained what I'd generally call a top 1% physique for over a decade. And I'm not saying that to brag, but only to show that and also to remind myself that given enough time, consistency, anything is possible. And to show that I understand what systematic optimization looks like when you commit to it over a long time. But here is what changed everything. I realized I was spreading myself way too thin across trying to learn way too many multiple skills at the same time instead of committing to one path. I was trying to reverse engineer the life that I wanted instead of just taking one step in front of the other. And most importantly, I discovered that almost everyone I look up to and whose footsteps that I want to follow in has some kind of an online presence. And so I had this realization. I need to start being extremely selfish with my time and my energy. And not in a bad way, but I do genuinely need to, if I can't figure out a good answer to what's in it for me, or what will this eventually lead to, then I'll keep on going down the same path. I'll keep on prioritizing everybody else's well-being over my own. Early on, I gave so much of myself without asking what it would lead to. I am, hands on my heart, truly obsessed with optimization, both psychological and physical. health, wealth, relationships, you freaking name it. I've been wearing a Whoop for 3 years, every single day, tracking absolutely everything about my health and performance. I'm passionate about psychology, philosophy, and the systems that help people go from feeling lost to taking control of their lives. And not to get too cheesy, but just again to paint you a picture of what this channel will be about. It's like one thing that really hit me deep comes from Confucius. We have two lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one. And if I could make a career out of helping people like you, to reach that realization, that second life, to come alive and stop drifting through uncertainty, then I feel like that would be the most meaningful thing that I could do. And so, that's where we are. That's why I'm here. This channel will focus on the intersection of psychology, productivity, building a business online, building something meaningful, trying to figure out what is actually meaningful in the first place. And I am never going to claim to have all of the answers. I'm just documenting the journey right now of trying to figure this all out. It's something that stuck to me that Ali Abdaal said. The difference between an architect and an archaeologist. And I have tried to, again, design to the most minute detail the life that I want to live, instead of what I'm doing here, which is figuring it out as I'm going along. And so that's what I'll try and do. I'll try and be as raw and honest in my content about building systems while managing multiple responsibilities. We'll do deep dives into psychology, philosophy that actually apply to daily life, and trying to make it as concrete as possible. I'm going to share my experiments with optimization, everything from health tracking to productivity frameworks to how I am setting up this to how I'm studying. And hopefully this will be valuable and meaningful to you who are watching this. I hope you take something away from it. I hope that I can look back on this in 5 years, 10 years, and feel pride in that I am finally committing to this. This has been a thought in the back of my head for years. Holy crap. Let's stop thinking and start doing instead. Let's do a lot. We have a lot to do. I'll also do my best to be as brutally honest about all of the failures along the way. You'll hear details about what it's like losing a loved one while trying to stay on top of things, and how I'm working to build something of my own while honoring that experience. Because here is something that I am pretty certain of so far. As much as you will detest it, possibly, you will to some extent be shaped by your past. But you don't need to let it dictate you completely. I won't take your attention lightly. I'm gonna try and make this as informational and as value packed as I possibly can. But on that note, as a heads up, it is something that Ollie says a lot in trying to build a YouTube channel. The first 50 videos, are for me, not for you. So while I will have your best interest, as always, in mind, these first 50 ones, you know what? Let's assume I'm a slow learner. Let's take 100. Let's measure in hundreds. I am just gonna focus on the doing more than the how deeper it all fits together. And once we've got ourselves going and we've gotten momentum, all right, cool. Then we can readjust. So, welcome. If you're tired of spreading yourself thin, if you yourself are trying to build something meaningful while managing way too many responsibilities, or if you're questioning whether there's more to life than the normal, traditional 9 to 5, let's try and figure that out together. So, this is the first time I'm saying this. Subscribe if you want to follow along on this journey. And if it's one thing I can leave you with, it's this. Deep down, you choose if you are a victim of your circumstances or not. Things will happen that is outside of your control. But how you react in turn to that, that's entirely up to you. I'll see you in the next video. And that's entirely up to you. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, maximum effort. Let's see if that's going to be a catchphrase that sticks on. God damn. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Right? That wasn't too bad.